off of a religious land claim, to saying that they was the Pope, that everybody had to come through the church for salvation, and the Pope was the highest thing to Jesus. You know, them were they bullshit. But when they was doing that, they was writing legal documents called bulls, B-U-L-L. Look it up in legalese, Black Law Dictionary. Black Law Dictionary. I got all this already in book packs. DM the Inspired by Raspy page, all this information already in book packs for y'all to study. So look, when the Pope them first in 1302 put the Pope them first created the first express trust, he did it through a religious way. He's saying that he the Pope and he the closest thing to Jesus, and Jesus is the closest thing to God. So that means he has all the power to take the whole world into a trust. So he created the first express trust. It was called, hold up, I'm about to give y'all the name for it. It was called Unisanctum. Yeah, Unisanctum. Unisanctum was the first express trust. Really tied to the system, and just read the system for what it is and understand what this system is and what this system tells us. Because the system clearly says that the legal definition for Indian is the original inhabitants of America. So that's the legal definition of Indian. So the Constitution says that Indians are not to be taxed. Property tax is the number one thing that state and local governments get their money off of. So if you was an aboriginal inhabitant of America, and the Constitution said you're not supposed to get taxed, how is the local and state government going to continue getting property tax, which they get all their money off of? Like, think about that, just that simple. If the legal definition of Indian is the aboriginal inhabitants of America, and the Constitution says Indians aren't supposed to be taxed, and property tax is the number one thing that local and state governments get their funding from. So you see how simple it really is, but nobody has took the time to explain that shit to us that way for us to be like, wait, so if my people been saying it was Indian and I can go through some documentation and find that, I can back, yes, exactly what I'm saying. And they told you that if you can be tax-free. I didn't tell it to you, they wrote it down. It's in the Constitution. You can just Google Constitution, Indians not taxed. It's gonna pop up for you. It's just all on how you fucking sign up, how you identify to this system is how this system responds to you. So if you identify yourself to this system ignorantly, this system is going to respond to you ignorantly. If you identify yourself to this system intelligently, this system is going to respond to you intelligently. It's all on how you choose to identify yourself. So if you don't know yourself, you may identify yourself to this system ignorantly because you don't know yourself. But once you get the knowledge of knowing who you are, your genealogy, you will start to identify yourself with this system intelligently because you intelligently know who you are. And so now the system will respond to you intelligently. This is all I've been telling you all. I don't give a fuck if this shit is in America, Africa, Australia, UK, Canada, South America. This shit works the same way. The trust system is the system everywhere. So everything, if you're not from America, just listen to the code words that I say for us and find the shit that matches in your country with it. That's it. That's it. That's all you do. This is the straw man. And this is the straw man. Listen, stop getting caught up in the term that's not going to be help y'all get free. This is it. Yes, last name is important. There's no DNA test. No DNA test. Look, land records, birth records, death records, marriage certificates, military pensions. A lot of our family was in the military here, whether they was American or African or fucking European, because they had black Europeans come over here too. Also, people have to understand that black Europeans came over here too. So some of y'all may have a European last name and think that it come from white people, but black Europeans came over here too. You know what I'm saying? Black Europeans colonized America, and black Europeans also came over as slaves. So you also have to look into. Don't just think that because you have a white sounding last name, or you think it's European. Let me not say white European. Because you have a European last name, you think that it comes from white people. Because black Europeans did come over here doing all of this, doing the transatlantic slaves and all that. So don't just think because your last name is European that it comes from a white European slave master. You know what I'm saying? But look at records. Records. That's all I dig into, records. How y'all see me, I go into the courthouse. Record, I was just in the courthouse. Records. I look into records. That's all I'm looking into. Because you have to understand, you have to be able to put this shit in a legal instrument. So you have to be able to put legal documents in a legal instrument. And when you put these legal documents in the legal instrument, this is how it holds weight up in this system, because the trust system is how this system operates. So in order for you to be able to operate in this system, you get a trust and you find out you get all the legal documents of your family. You know what I'm saying? You get all of their legal documents. You know what I'm saying? You get them, get their birth certificates. Who was married to who? Where they was married at. And you got to understand history. History just didn't happen. They didn't just come and enslave everybody at one time. Like, I'm from Louisiana. They hit Louisiana in 1803. But you have to know Louisiana history. The Louisiana Purchase didn't go like everybody think it went. For one, it didn't go through period, actually, for one. For two, they didn't get all of Louisiana in the Louisiana Purchase. This is what I mean by you have to know history. You have to be intimate with history. If you're not intimate with history, you'll think, oh, well, they came over and enslaved everybody, and we all were slaves. No, that's not how that shit went. Not everybody was slaves. Because on my maternal side, my mama's, all the women, that side has never been enslaved. My maternal side has never been enslaved. So we can't just say that everybody has been enslaved. Like, we have to be intimate with history. Like, it just doesn't go like that. So, like 1803, they hit Louisiana Purchase. That's not far from today. Especially when you start going into your genealogy, you're going to see 1803 is right there. So for like us, we like, shit, nigga, you can predate yourself before 1803 in Louisiana. You just predated yourself before the USA. So now you have an indigenous claim to the land. And now you can put yourself in indigenous claim and be tax-free and create your own jurisdiction, a jurisdiction greater than the United States because you was here before them. And you have actual proof to show that. And you put that in a trust. That's legal documents in another legal document. So when I make this claim, you can't rebut it because you have nothing stronger than this. Anyone tried to rebut that would be a fool. This is all I'm trying to explain to our people. This is the key to our freedom. And then my family can build with somebody else's family. Your family can build with another family. But it's about you getting your family together first. We can't, no more of this running out there, everybody unite. Like, no more of that shit. Everybody got to be hard down on their family. We can share information with each other, but your goal right now is your family. That's your goal. Get your family and y'all shit together. That should be everybody's goal. Get y'all shit together. Get you and your family shit together. That's it. Because once you and your family get y'all shit together, y'all gonna see. All right. Once y'all start talking taxes, money, people gonna start listening. Look, man, I know how you ain't got to pay taxes no more. No how, but shit, you got to follow rules and regulations. Because you're going to have to build your own constitution. Your own constitution, your own bylaws. Like, see me, it's easy for me to say this shit, and it's easy for me to visualize it, because my family always held land up in our family, but I never understood what it meant that we own land in our family. You know, and it was always, they say it was out home in the country. I'm from Louisiana, so they were like, you know, we always own land. I always passed by the land because it's right off the highway all my life. And I always took pride in knowing we owned it, but I never understood what it meant. So right now, as I'm doing all of what I'm doing with my family now, and I got to go up in here and deal with these people in these offices and look at these all this land and all this paperwork, and so I'm just digging and digging. I'm actually looking at all these people paperwork, not just mine, because not only did my family have land, like all my relatives back here have land. So once I get my portion of the land straight, I'll be able to teach everybody where my ancestors stayed, because they had a little place called Out Home. They always say, you know, your grandmother then was Indians, and now that I'm doing the history and research in Louisiana, I see like my grandmother them always been in this area, and now I'm starting to see the Chittimacha actual lawsuits that the Chittimacha sued the United States government in the 1800s and shit. Like, I really go up into these records and be really looking at what the fuck these records saying in legalese to see what the fuck is going on for us. Cause I know I need it for me, and I know that once I get my family together, we're not gonna be able to live forever if everybody else don't get their family together, because it'll continue being fucked up shit and I'll just be in a little bubble. And that shit ain't gonna work. So I look at it from a standpoint of how do all of us can benefit off of this information. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can this information benefit all of us, not just me? So this is how this information benefits us. You have to know who your family is, your bloodline. In law, when you look up nationality, when you look up the legal definition of nationality, your nationality comes off of your bloodline, who you was born from. That's your nationality. And in America, they tax you based off your nationality. So whatever your nationality is how they tax you. Now, if your nationality is that you are indigenous to America, which is the legal status is an Indian, they have in the Constitution that you shouldn't be taxed. A lot of us have indigenous ties to this land. A lot of y'all grandparents that said they had Indian in their blood. You didn't know what the fuck that meant. Well, now, that shit is worth the world. Because it's worth the land that's underneath your feet. The same land that every other person is running over here to try to get them some money off of to take back to their people. The same land that the Europeans that come over here and not trying to build a wall to keep other people out. It's your land. So when your parents and your grandparents them was telling you they had Indian in their blood, but they have been silenced to keep that shit quiet, right now is the fucking time for you to invoke that spirit, nigga, and raise the fuck up. That's what time it is. This is your fucking land, and you got people all on your fucking land, and you ain't doing not a fucking thing about it. Except crying, asking the motherfuckers on your land to leave you alone. That's what you doing. It's time for us to wake the fuck up. Like, this our shit. And I'm telling y'all this because I'm doing this. This ain't no shit I'm telling y'all to go do that I ain't already in the process of doing myself. Like I say, I just spent my last 10 days at home and doing this shit with my family. That's what it's about, getting free. Freedom. If you're not trying to get free, I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. Unless you're just trying to be slave for the NWO. Like, the NWO is not the end all be all. Like, all this fucked up shit, the pedophilia shit, all the shit that we see going on, we choose that shit because we choose to continue to be citizens of the United States Corporation. That's why that shit going on. The minute we say, all right, well, fuck this corporation, I'm going to build my own corporation over here, when I got to have my own constitution and bylaws, and I know I ain't about to have that shit over here, you going to start seeing like, wait, so you mean to tell me I really can live outside of this shit, and that shit over there still can exist, and I ain't got to do, yeah, all that shit like that. It's like that. Shit every day. Like, every fucking day. And I'm trying to figure it all out. Like, because once you become private, get your own jurisdiction, your company becomes private. So you be able to still do business because the trust system is a business system. You'll still be able to do business. It's just that the way the United States try to rule over you and tax you and make you pay taxes to them, that shit go out the window. But you'll still be able to do business. I'm not saying you're not going to be able to live and function and all that stuff. No, you'll still be able to do all of that shit. You still have fucking numbers to plug in. You still going to have a name to plug in a system. Like, you can name your trust. I can create a trust right now and name it the Raspy Foundation. And I ain't got to never tell nobody it's a trust. And y'all will forever call it the Raspy Foundation. But you never know it's a trust. You know what I'm saying? I can name it Food LLC. And the name you will only see is Food LLC. You will never see the trust of Food LLC. Because I created it and I get to name it whatever I want to name it. You know what I'm saying? You get to do all of that with the trust. Like the flexibility that a trust actually gives you in the system is actually dope once you understand what it is and how it maneuvers in this system. Like it actually fly how the shit work. Once you figure out how it work, you're gonna be like, you know what, this some ingenious shit. Because I don't really have a problem with it for the fact of who doesn't want to have their land and property written down to where if something happens to them, it passes to their family automatically without anybody interfering with it. Who doesn't want that? Like what person who worked hard to accumulate and acquire any type of wealth wouldn't want it structured already for his stuff to go straight to his family who he wanted to without any complications? Everyone should want that. And that's all a trust is. A trust is saying, look, I'm making a conscious decision right now in my sound mind for all the stuff that I have accumulated to go to the people that I wanted to go to if something happens to me. I think everybody should want that. That's why I don't see the trust as a bad thing. I actually see the trust as a great thing. The thing about it is, nobody never told us how this shit works. And that allowed for our ignorance to allow people to fucking kill us and abuse us and poison us and do everything else under the sun to us. That's the only problem I have with it. But the actual functionality and what the trust actually, what it actually exists and what it is, yeah, the trust is a beautiful thing. It's just the way that it has been used. It's a great tool, instrument. It's just the way that it has been used against us by keeping us ignorant to the functionality of it. That's the problem I have with it. Like, I don't have no problem with the trust. It's just them keeping us ignorant to the functionality of the trust. I have a great big problem with it. So that's why I study this shit so hard, and that's why I push it on us so hard, because if more of us understood trust, more of us will take away from the system and keep our family, and more of us will be able to help each other as we go forward. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't think I got no energy. I don't think I got enough battery to save this live. So I hope y'all out here recording this shit or know a way to record this shit. Cause I don't be saving them. Like, I post about this shit all day. And these the posts that don't get the likes and comments from people. So I don't even be giving a fuck about not keeping it alive, because I post the information on my page every day. I find a way to incorporate this into my message every day now that I understand it, because this is the most important shit. Nothing else is more important than this. Nothing. And once you figure this shit out, you're like, I have so much shit I'm so ready to put out to the world. But I can't put this shit out until I finish with this paperwork shit. Till I get me and my family all the way structured. Like, this is what I'm on every day. Every day. Like, I'm talking to my mama, my sisters, my cousins, my aunties. I'm on this shit every day. This is what I do. I'm on my family. I'm dealing with my family every day. Because if something happens to me right now, y'all not going to be at my bedside or right there. It's going to be my family. So I'm trying to get this shit. Like, I done gave the world enough of me to be like, dog, if I haven't taught y'all enough to get off your ass and do this shit for yourself to figure this shit out, something wrong. If I haven't inspired y'all enough to do that, something is fucking wrong. So right now, I got to get my family together. Because anything happen to me today or tomorrow, a motherfucker. So it ain't. Like, when you discover how they have the system set up, it ain't like they hid the shit, because they keep records. Documentation. Like, they records is everywhere. When you start looking at, when you start knowing what they records are and how to look for them, all right, so now I know that a legal instrument is this. So now I know whenever I read in history that they say this person did this, I know what that means in legalese. Oh, man. You be like, oh, you motherfuckers, y'all been telling us, and they've been telling it to us all this while. It's been right there. Think about when you read history. History always told you, the Victor Wright history, right? They always tell you in history books, they always use the word claim. Tell me I'm lying. By a show of hearts. Whenever you read history before, tell me they always talking about somebody claim. They use that one word, that specific word. claim. Don't they always use the word claim in history when they talking about the fucking Europeans coming over some fucking way? They always say claim. You know why? Because they're telling you, they are making a land, they are telling you right there. They're saying it in layman terms, but they're telling you in legalese, this is about a land claim right there. That's why whoever has been on the land the longest has the strongest claim. So when they come on that bitch and they say, such and such claim this land for France, such and such claim this land for Spain, they're making fucking land claims. That's what they're telling you, a legal land claim. But they're not going to come out and write and say, he made a legal land claim with a legal No, they're not going to tell you that. But once you start understanding what the fuck how they word shit and their terminology and their language, once you start learning legalese, when you go back and reading everything else in history, you're going to start reading history and legalese. And you're going to start seeing like, wait, these motherfuckers been telling us how they was legally taking over this shit this whole time. It's right there, the Berlin Conference, the Louisiana Purchase. Oh, that's about land claim. They've been telling us this shit this whole time. We just been ignorant to that language. Look, court. Court is a trust. When you go to court, the clerk of court, when you have a court case, the clerk of court open up a construction trust. And you are the beneficiary. The judge is the trustee. The clerk of court is the grantor. And the plaintiff, the DA is the executor. So if you overstand trust, you understand that the beneficiary is the one that the trust benefits. So when we go in court, what they do is they get you and a judge to switch places. The judge become the beneficiary and you become the trustee. And the trustee is the one who manages the trust. So that's when the remedy off of whatever came about on the trustee has to clear the remedy. That's why you go to jail. But if you understand what a trust is and a court case is a construction trust to start off with, you understand that automatically when you go up in there, the judge is actually the trustee. So the remedy is on him. If you don't allow them to put you trustee for that quick moment, they can never bring your ass to jail. But we don't know that. I'm just it's starting to really sink into me about that part of court, being that court is a constructive trust. Because when when you are born, your mama sent off for your birth certificate. And your birth certificate opened up the first trust. And that trust right there, the state is the trustee of that trust. So the clerk of court works for the state. That's why she is the trustee. She is the trustee of your first trust with your birth certificate. So when the court case comes for you, she opens up another trust, because trust can be inside of trust. Like, all this shit is based off trust. Everything is based off trust. Nobody has explained this shit to us. Nobody. Nobody. Hey, I'm starting to really get this shit. I got a video online. I seen a white man. He don't go past the bar. You know, you go past the bridge. Maritime law, when you step in the court, you go past the bridge. He never went past the bridge. So you know how your name is in all caps on your birth certificates and on your driver's license? So whenever you go in court and the judge, everybody, they say all rise and shit, and the judge gets you identified. What the judge is trying to do is he's making you identify yourself as the trustee of the trust by saying you are your name. Whenever you say you are your name, and instead of saying that the judge is your name, because the judge is actually the trustee. That's why you have to understand what a trust is. The trust, the grantor, the settler, the person who put the trust together, the trustee, and the beneficiary. The trustee is the person who manages the trust. The beneficiary is the one who benefits from the trust. So all you get is benefits from the trust. The trustee is the one who manages. So any problems or anything comes up to the trustee, anything comes up to the trust, taxes, liens, anything, the trustee is the person that has to deal with that. So when you go in court, the judge is actually the trustee. So the trustee is the person in control of the trust. So when the clerk of court open your constructive trust, which is your court case, the clerk of court put the judge as the trustee. So the judge's name is actually your name in that court case. So whenever you go in court and they make you say that you are your name, you just transferred that power that the judge had to yourself, and now you are being held responsible for whatever comes about with that fucking court case. And that's how they getting us on that too. All of it deals with trust. All of it. All of it deals with trust. They don't want us to know this shit. But all of it deals with trust. Trust, trust, trust. So if you go in and you fucking study trust, this is why I got the trust book pack. Got about over 10, 12 books in there. If you go in that book pack and you study trust, you'll find out just how trust works. Just find out how trust works. Find out everything about a trust. So once you start understanding how trust works, then you're gonna understand how the court works. Once you understand how your birth certificate works and it goes into the trust, you understand how all this shit is one fucking cycle. It took me 7 years. It took me 7, 8 years to figure this shit out. It took me 7, 8 years to figure it, but I figured it out now. Hit my Inspired by Raspy page. Inspired by ain't got no post on it. DM Inspired by Raspy. That's the page. Inspired by Raspy. DM that page. There's number of books over there. DM. But this shit, once you get it, you're gonna start seeing this system totally different. And then, like I said, the system responds to how we identify ourselves with it. So if you identify ignorantly with the system gonna respond ignorantly. If you identify intelligently, the system is gonna respond intelligent to you. So you have to see how you gotta identify. Like, you gotta go through your family lineage, see who the fuck y'all are. Right? All this shit matters. Like, everything matters in this system. And we have to stop rushing to go forward without understanding how this system functions. Because we're doing ourselves a great disservice. We are putting a lot of energy into this system that shouldn't be there. And we are putting energy into the system and no energy into our own. This is why, when it came down to voting, I had the big problem with everybody voting. Like, we keep putting energy into this system and not our own, and this is what I'm trying to teach us. Like, I'm trying to teach us that we have to stop putting energy. All right, so now voting. Voting, the same thing comes back with the income tax. So now you beg this system to put somebody in the place. So you kept voting, so you kept telling this system that you wanted to be a part of it. So now that income tax come around, the system say, well, hey, y'all continue to always want to be a part of our system. So when we have a government shutdown, y'all can't get y'all shit back. That's because we keep depending on this system. We keep willfully telling this system that we want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And we keep telling them that ignorantly. We're not telling the system that we want to be a part of it intelligently. Like, I could see if we were telling this system, hey, we want to be a part of this system intelligently, but we're not doing that. We're doing it ignorantly. So the system is responding to us ignorantly. He said, I shut down this business if I want to. And we looking at it as he saying, I shut down the government if I want to. It's not a government, it's a business. It's a corporation. So why you getting all ups and arms and pissed off over a corporation? You shouldn't have been having your high hopes in a corporation anyway. Not a corporation that you don't own or have no investment in. You ain't invest in that corporation. Yeah, you work, but you didn't sit down and go over a contract with this corporation and said, I'm investing inside this corporation and I want some stock. You didn't do that. You in this corporation because they forcing your ass in it because you willfully keep signing up to it. And you never trying to correct that. That's why you're in it. Like, it's a difference. And we have to stop being foolish and thinking that it's not a difference. Like, we have to really get on our shit. Like, all of us. Like, we really, really have to get on our shit. I'm trying to see what y'all saying. But, because I'm so far away, this shit looks small as shit. We have to really get on our shit. Like, all of it. Like, until you understand how this shit go. I can see if we were telling this system, hey, we want to be a part of this system intelligently, but we're not doing that. We're doing it ignorantly. So the system is responding to us ignorantly. He said, I shut down this business if I want to. And we looking at it as he saying, I shut down the government if I want to. It's not a government, it's a business. It's a corporation. So why you getting all ups and arms and pissed off over a corporation? You shouldn't have been having your high hopes in a corporation anyway. Not a corporation that you don't own or have no investment in. You ain't invest in that corporation. Yeah, you work, but you didn't sit down and go over a contract with this corporation and said, I'm investing inside this corporation and I want some stock. You didn't do that. You in this corporation because they forcing your ass in it because you willfully keep signing up to it. And you never trying to correct that. That's why you're in it. Like, it's a difference. And we have to stop being foolish and thinking that it's not a difference. Like, we have to really get on our shit. Like, all of us. Like, we really, really have to get on our shit. I'm trying to see what y'all saying. But, because I'm so far away, this shit looks small as shit. We have to really get on our shit. Like, all of it. Like, until you understand how this shit go, you'll never. Like, the trust shit, I got it on my IGTV. I didn't turn it the way I needed it to. But, so y'all not going to be able to see it, but you can hear it. If you go to my IGTV, there's a 9-minute plus clip. And the name of the video, the full video, is on YouTube. If you go to that 9-minute video and listen to it, that at the part that I have for the 9-minute video, it breaks down how the trust system first started. Now, if you want to know how the trust system first started, so you can get the origin of how this trust system first started, go in my IGTV. It's a 9-minute video of how the trust system first started, so you can see where the structure comes from. Then go to Inspired by Raspy, get the book packs. You can learn more on trust and constitutions and black laws, the fucking legalese, learn how, what words, what, the UCC code, learn all of that shit. You look under my highlights in the Raspy Rawls bio, you got genealogy links for you to go and search your family history, because that is important. I done gave y'all, I'm putting all this right in front of y'all face. Right in y'all lap. Like, this convenience. I don't know nobody else that's breaking this shit down to y'all for like this and putting this in y'all lap like this. Like, I don't know nobody else that's making this shit this convenient for y'all. Nobody. I don't. Not like this. I'm giving y'all this shit right here. I ain't going no further than that.